Who's a celebrity who just genuinely seems like a really nice person? I'll go first.
Mom was convinced that year by her friend that beehives were going to be all the rage. And if you didn't have a beehive, you'd feel embarrassed. And it turned out to be the opposite. It was a natural hair vibe. And my mom sat in front of Rachel Wise, and her hair was so high that Rachel had to keep... And my mom kept sinking in her chair, and I didn't know what to do because I was, I wanted to have a nice night, so I didn't know Meryl Streep, but she was sitting next to me, and I said in a commercial break, would you mind just telling my mom you like her hair, And she was like, I got this. And then the commercial went, she goes, do you know, I wish I was going to do a beehive, and I wish I had. My mom was like, raising a little fall nice.
Does she already know that story, your mom?
My mom?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, not you.
Who's a celebrity who just genuinely seems like a really nice person?
And then I have another glass of wine, and then I spot a family, and I'm like, I went over, a bit drunk. Did you call my name earlier? I was like, sorry, I had my security with me, and I was like, sorry, he was, being a bit protective, whatever. I went, did I hear it's your birthday? Let me get your meal for you. So I paid for their meal.
No.
Yeah, and then I had another glass of wine, and then my friend arrived, and I had 2 more glasses of wine. Bear in mind that I haven't really had a drink for like 8 months. And then the next day, in the park, with my kid, over here, and I find this email address in my pocket of another family from Nashville who obviously told me the show was sold out, so I got the email address to give them tickets to Nashville. So that's what happens when I'm drunk.
I'm surprised you didn't start singing.
Yeah, 1 more glass of wine I might have.
Who's a celebrity who just genuinely seems like a really nice person?
Wow. You're given the answer in Romanian that's the end of Civil War, I'm gonna be really mad.
Bine, îmi pare și mulțumesc că ați venit. Eu n-am mai fost în România din 2003, dar trebuie să mă întorc, cred că mă gândeam vara asta.
Putem să mergem împreună?
Și Civil War o să fie un film nemaipomenit.
Who's a celebrity who just genuinely seems like a really nice person?
So this celebrity doesn't just seem like a really nice person, I know for a fact they are because of multiple personal experiences. I work at a non-mouse related theme park in Los Angeles as a performer, and the celebrity brought their son in. They were super cordial, they were nice, they were polite to everyone, they were friendly to me, all the staff, everybody. My wife also used to work at a Starbucks out here in LA, and this person would frequently come in, order 1 tall black coffee, and leave a $20 bill in the tip jar every time. And that person is Colin Farrell, one of the nicest celebrities I have ever met. 10 out of 10 guy.
Who's a celebrity who just genuinely seems like a really nice person?
I was at an after party for a film once, and I was looking over because I saw this guy from across the room, and I'm a longtime fan. And he was talking to some producer guy who was talking a lot of business with him, and he was clearly uncomfortable. He locks eyes with me, sees that I'm looking over at him, and he walks over and shakes my hand and just starts shooting the shit about random stuff with me about LA, restaurants, everything. We talked for like 30 minutes, and it was totally awesome. It was like, wow, this guy's just a normal guy. And then my other coworker who had had too much to drink, she comes over and she goes, whoa, you look great. You lost so much weight since that movie. I was thinking you were looking kind of heavy in that movie. And I turned bright red, obviously, because that's a very embarrassing thing to bring up to someone. I'm like, oh my God, she ruined it. But he turns to me without skipping a beat, and he just looks at me and he goes, Hot Pockets, baby. And we all busted out laughing.
Who's a celebrity who just genuinely seems like a really nice person?
I'm pretty much sure you guys know this actress right here. But to refresh some of your memory, her name is Miss Arlene Mulak. She is the sister of Aga Mulak, and she's been acting ever since her teenage years back in the 80s. Miss Arlene and my mom go way back. Miss Arlene was working at this well-known corporation, and her family business was actually one of the suppliers for their office supplies. They were not only transacting businesses together, but they were also good friends. I believe Miss Arlene never lost the communication to my mom, and she was kind enough to visit us during my grandmother's first year death anniversary. So this is the photo. That's my mom, and that's Miss Arlene. She's so nice.
Who's a celebrity who just genuinely seems like a really nice person?
I used to work at a gym that is very popular among celebrities. A couple years ago, there was an actor who was in town filming a movie. It's pretty well known that this particular person had an extremely rough upbringing and got in a lot of trouble when he was a youth, but ended up becoming a huge movie star. Everybody who interacted with him at the gym agreed he was the nicest guy, the most friendliest, patient person, couldn't have been any better. But one member had the best interaction of all. This woman had finished her workout and she was sitting in the lobby on a sofa getting some work done. With one hand, she was sending emails, taking sips of her smoothie, and in the other hand, she was holding her baby, breastfeeding. She's looking down at her work when she hears a voice go, "Looks like you got your hands full." She looks up, handsome face, smiling at her, winks, her baby winks, latches back on. She's speechless, jaw on the floor, as she watches Mark Wahlberg stride out the door.
Who's a celebrity who just genuinely seems like a really nice person?
So as many of you already know, I'm originally from Las Vegas. And when I lived in Las Vegas, one of my jobs was to professionally cosplay as Jared Leto's Joker. As my username implies, obviously you guys know I'm a huge fan of his Joker. One day I was working and I went into a CVS to grab like a bag of chips, and I looked outside and I saw this actor, and I wasn't a real big fan of his show, but I knew who he was because his character was the funniest on the show. I knew looking the way that I looked, he would probably notice me and want to come up and talk to me, so that's exactly what I did. I went outside and just casually stood in front of him, and he asked me, "Do you want to be in an interview?" To which I said, "Yeah, of course," and he talked to me. He was really friendly. He told me what he was doing in Vegas. You know, I pretended not to know him for a little bit, and I think he appreciated that because he took a photo with me, and well, Misha Collins from Supernatural, y'all.
Who's a celebrity who just genuinely seems like a really nice person?
I was in a pub called the Lauriston in Glasgow once, and these two guys in their 40s or 50s were harassing these two young lasses, only about 18, 19, you know. Pure trying to fire into them with shite patter and then going, "Oh, what's the matter? Do you know what to talk to me?" Like that kind of shite. And a guy in the corner, kind of well-dressed guy, he's kind of watching. Eventually he stands up, walks over to the lassie, and he's like, "Oh, hi, sir, I didn't realise it was you. How's your brother? How's he keeping?" She's gone. She kind of catches on quick, and she's like that. "Oh, they dropped the case. They couldn't find enough evidence." He's like, "Oh, good." The two fucking older guys never said another word to them. Do you know who the well-dressed guy was? Do you know who that was? Sean Batty.